Okay.
Nice.
All right.
It's Rotten Apples
Yes.
back at it with episode 2.
Yes, and today is a very different episode. This will be the start of our review series. And today we'll be reviewing Payback, which is a Korean web novel recently turned manhwa back in 2021. So before we jump right into it, we sort of want to discuss how our review episodes will go. I guess before we jump into the topic, we'll obviously mention any trigger warnings if necessary, because sometimes some of these stories are pretty explicit and
Pretty
not just
toxic.
in the regular BL way.
Yes.
Sometimes, for example, Payback, if you're not a huge fan of like murder or blood, maybe this might not be for you. And of course, if a series is completed, we would make sure to input a spoiler warning before we go into spoiler territory. However, in this case, because Payback is sort of still ongoing, I really don't think there's a need for any spoiler warnings to be set up here.
Yes.
And from then on, we will do a brief background or introduction to what the story entails. And then we would sort of like discuss our thoughts on characters, art, plot, and most likely overall spiciness level of the
Yes.
series.
We put a lot of work into this.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Yes. But
Yes.
it is a classic BL yaoi type content, then, it will definitely be explicit. So just be forewarned that, there will be stuff discussed that's not very appropriate for children
Mm-hmm.
and for also for many adults.
Yes.
So just be careful. But yeah, so Payback is created. It was originally a web novel written by the author SamK, and the artist or the creator of the webtoon that was created from the web novel is FujoKing, which is a fantastic name. I applaud this creator. And so Payback basically it's about this homeboy named Lee Yuhan,
Mm-hmm.
and he is an ex asshole, and he's still an asshole, but something happened in his life that caused him to turn over a new leaf, and now he's trying to be an actor because all loan sharks turn into cute little actors after they mess up. And so then he's trying to make his way to basically take revenge on the dude who screwed over his life. And in the process, he meets another dude who's also just as fucked up. And things happen.
I get that's a very nice way of putting it.
Yes.
Yes.
That is essentially how it goes, and it's still ongoing. I believe we're still on the first season, right?
Yeah.
We're still on the first season.
Season 1
Okay,
is
cool.
still
First season is
ongoing.
not done yet.
Yes. By the way, you could get the English translation of the manhwa on Lezhin. There's a R18 warning, so if you're not 18 or older on your account, you obviously don't have access to the chapters.
Yeah.
So let's start off with our main character, Lee Yuhan. And I guess to go back quickly for terminology's sake, instead of like using the OG terms back in the early 2000s, like uke or bottom or whatever, I think it's a lot easier and more appropriate to use the terms such as main character for whatever
The protagonist.
the protagonist is.
Yeah.
So the main narrative. And then the male lead is their love interest.
Yes.
Yep. So,
I may confuse that,
yeah.
but for the most part, you guys can follow along with that terminology. Okay, so we've got a multitude of characters in this webtoon. All of them are very fun and interesting people, whom you will all like, except maybe for our boy Yoonjae is still an ass.
No, Yoonjae's pretty cool. I like him. You know
he's-
who I don't like? I do not like Song
Yes,
Myeong-shin. He's like
the turd.
Yeah.
He is the actual turd character of the show. He's the guy who ruined everything. And there are several scenes when, like, he's kind of pushed back a bit, and that makes you feel very happy. That petty vindictive revenge.
Yes.
He's cool. Yoonjae is cool. He's the male lead, the love interest, or well, well, we see it as the love interest. Lee
Mhm.
Yoo-han is still in denial.
Yes, Lee Yoo-han would often call him the psychopath, which I think is so cute when he just learns that new word.
Yeah.
And he just immediately keeps calling him that.
Yeah. If you guys like don't really follow along in the web novel, I mean in the webtoon or in the story really, he calls Yoonjae like a psychopath, but he says it in English. Like this manhwa is like it's a manhwa, so it's in Korean, but he
Mhm,
says it in English, but he doesn't know what it means.
mhm.
All he knows is that he feels like it's an insult of some kind.
Yeah.
So he just uses it whenever. It's really funny whenever he uses it because like he doesn't know what he's saying.
Mhm.
Um, but to be fair, he is kind of psycho.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
but back on track. Main
okay.
character review. Yes. So I think from when I was like backtrack or like reading it over again to catch on the little details, he's 25 years old. Most of his childhood, I guess they're like pretty impoverished. His mother was like severely ill, and so he picked up work under a loan shark and was this well known and respectable delinquent. That's sort of how he earned money to support his family. Of course, this involved him in like being super violent
Yeah.
to get what he wants.
He wasn't a nice guy.
No. And it's sort of sad because I think literally in the first chapter, there's like the whole concept of karma.
Oh yeah, and that's a theme that kind of
Yeah.
follows throughout. Like a lot of it, a lot of the kind of underlying plot or inner conflict that Lee Yu-han has during the webtoon or during the story is that like kind of having to repent for his sins,
Hmm.
of his past, of the things that he had to do, of the demise of someone very close to him, and he feels that he's kind of to blame for all of it. And it's interesting because like you can't really he was driven to desperation because of his situation, but that doesn't eliminate the bad things he did to others,
Yeah.
and he knows that. So that kind of festers in the back of his mind throughout the whole webtoon, and it's interesting seeing how that develops. But yeah, that's more of a plot point. We'll go
Hmm.
back again to the characters, but he is a very dynamic and interesting person. Um, and yes. And oh, another theme that goes
Hmm.
on in the thing in the story is that like they keep saying that he's average looking. They
Yeah. And I'm
keep
like, he's
yeah.
not average
No,
looking. What are you
he
talking
looks
about?
he looks good. He looks very attractive, but like in according to their standards, he's like they literally emphasize.
Hmm.
They like they take the time to stress that he is an average person,
Yeah.
a plain
Like,
looking
there's
person.
nothing special about him.
Yes.
And to be fair, it's not like he jumped into the idol or acting industry because he aspired to become an actor. It was, again, because he wanted to seek revenge because he was just doing his regular small time job and happened to encounter and listen in on this conversation where he learned that Song Myung, is it Song Myeong-shin? Yeah,
Song Myeong-shin,
yeah,
yeah.
where Song Myeong-shin pretty much revealed that he was like the cause of all of this trauma and this tragedy to our main character. And
Yes.
that's when he's like, all right, fuck this shit about being good. It's time to get payback.
Yes.
Title drop.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go. Yes.
Yes. And the other thing about Song Myeong-shin, and oh, and by the way, we are not Korean, so we apologize
Yeah.
for any like ruining of the
Mispronunciations.
pronunciation. But
Yeah.
we'll keep trying to make it proper. But yeah, Song Myeong-shin, the important thing about him is that he's close to the main character originally. He was
Mm-hmm.
close to him, to Lee Yoo-han, and then like he betrayed him in a very shocking way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that kind of spun him to take his revenge. And it's
Yeah.
interesting to follow along with it. And yes, and in order to enact that revenge, Yoon-jae is very, very important. Um, and the whole webtoon or the whole story kind of revolves around, I think it's Lee Yu-han trying to identify who executive director Yoon
Yeah,
is.
and that's because everyone just keeps saying like, "Oh, you want executive director Yoon
Yeah,
to be your sponsor." And he's like, "All right,
exactly.
let me go get this dude." And
And the thing is, to us as readers, the identity of executive director Yoon is extremely obvious,
Mhm.
but but to Lee Yu-han it isn't. And for other plot purposes, Lee Yoo-han should be very recognizable to Yoon-jae, but he also doesn't recognize it. So it's just very interesting to see these very intelligent characters who are by themselves intelligent, but when they cross paths, they're dumb as hell.
Yes.
So it's very fascinating.
Um,
Yes. And then we can move on to kind of the side characters.
yeah.
Yes.
I think Chief Park, he's like pretty minor, not that important. He's just like an underling of Yoonjae.
Oh, was that the
Yeah.
dude who just like started crying like after
Yes.
getting Yeah.
Yes.
That part was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so back to the point where Lee Johan is really bad at acting, but he does say that one thing he is really good at is threatening people.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and that goes to show how intelligent he is, as a character, right? He knows that he can't really make it based off his own acting skills, so he's trying his best to manipulate the situation to sort of like get
Have him act
his goal.
scenes that are like literally violent.
Yeah, which involved him threatening Chief Park, but
Yes.
it got him the job.
It did, yeah, because like he was legitimately having murderous thoughts against the guy.
He wasn't acting about that at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was fascinating to see him enact. And then there's CEO. I never know how to pronounce that.
I think it's Choi, CEO Choi. He's
Okay,
like
Choi.
one of the more important side characters,
and he is a very interesting character because like it's very interesting because he's the guy who's like he's very blustering, right? Like whenever he comes into like the Alice's Labyrinth, he's like, oh, it's Lee Baek-won. Is that the guy? And like he's like
no.
weirdly
No, CEO Choi. He's
Yeah.
like he used to be the manager for Song Myeong-shin, and then he also became a victim of him, and so he becomes like Lee Yoo-han's target to be like, hey, pick me up as an actor idol because you said my face looked good.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
I messed that up.
You're thinking about someone else.
Yes.
Don't worry. Yeah, I'd say he's interesting because he also has some sort of vendetta against Song Myeong-shin. He's like trying. I guess he's the more reasonable person in the story because despite all the stuff that he's been through, he's like, you know what, forgive and forget. Let me just try to move on with my life and pick up where I've left off. Then Lee Yoo-han comes in the picture and is like, you know what, I can help you get your own revenge. Just help me out and I'll help you. And he's like, all right, sure. Let's do that.
And he's kind of roped along with everything.
Yeah, but
oh yeah, yes, he's the manager. He's the man. How could I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
messed
okay.
that up.
He's sort of like, I don't know. He's not as. There's a lot of crazy characters, right? So he's sort of like.
He's sort of like the only normal character. In fact, he's like actually very kind.
Yeah.
Like, who in their right mind would hire like an idiot like Lee Yoo-han who doesn't know shit about acting and doesn't care about it aside for revenge? But I mean, it just goes to show how desperate he was really to get his leg back in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is a very nice old man.
Yes. And then you have Lee Han-soo, and he is also part of like an actor under CEO Choi. The thing about him is that he has this fear of cameras, which is strange for an actor, right? Because an actor is always in front of the camera. And so I'm very curious on where this story is going to lead or what they will reveal as to why he has this sort of trauma towards cameras themselves.
Yes.
But yeah, this character is also another like little cinnamon roll. Even though he's like 20 years old and younger than our main character, he sort of like acts as somewhat of a mentor and gives advice on what it's like in the idol/acting community there.
And at the same time, he's just a small kid. And I think the nice thing about him is that like when Lee, you can kind of see aspects of character development with Lee Yoo-han through Han-soo. Because when Yoo-han first came into the story, when he was first introduced and became part of this whole like acting crew, he was very like single-minded. He's like, I need to get my revenge no matter what, and like if people get in my way, I'll like I'll do with them what I usually do, or like I'll scare them or threaten them or whatever. But Hansu, along with being like kind of like a mentor, as he said, is also ends up kind of being like a little bro figure. And like
Yeah,
you'll
that's
see over
true.
time, like yeah, like Yuhan starts to have like in his own way a kind of fondness for him.
Hmm.
And like you'll see that Yuhan even really starts to care for him when he sees like our freaking asshole Song Myeong-shin screws Hansu over
Yeah.
too. Um, and you can see how Yuhan feels bad for him because Hansu's like dreams like kind of almost break because of it because he
Hmm.
was forced to be in front of cameras when he didn't want to be.
Hmm.
Um, and you can see Yuhan's character kind of change because now he feels bad for this dude when
Yeah.
originally he was only focused on himself.
Yeah.
So he's kind of important in that sense. You don't really think much of Hansu at first because he just seems like he's one of those like secondary characters who just serves to like introduce the new character to a new scenario. But
Hmm.
he becomes important over time, and there's some obviously like whatever trauma he has about the with the fear of cameras.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yes, it would be.
Yes,
And now we have some like nameless characters. I don't think they've ever dropped their names. So um there's two very important locations for this story. It is Dream Entertainment, which is where um
I think that's the acting
all the
agency,
actors,
right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
acting agency, all that stuff. Jae Yoon is that's it Jae Yoon? No. Yoon Jae. Let me
I don't know.
scroll.
I think we wrote it as Yoonjae.
Yeah, so Yoon Jae is like the executive director of Dream Entertainment. All right. The second important location.
And
Oh wait,
L- Lee Yuhan doesn't know that.
oh yeah, again, yeah, Lee Yuhan doesn't know
Yeah,
that. I don't think
because he's
it's
an
much of a
idiot.
spoiler because it's so obvious based
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the way, yeah,
Throughout the
yeah,
whole story, they don't know who the other person
yeah,
is.
like you know right away. I think it's like chapter 2 or 3. That's when they introduce him,
I think
Jay.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, they introduced him pretty early on.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second important location is Alice's Labyrinth, which is this exclusive club where you would see actors gather with their sponsors and whatnot. And so our main character would visit here often under the orders of Jay because
Because Jay is a dick,
yeah, he is.
and he doesn't know how else to express romantic interest in a person
Mhm.
other than being toxic and
Yes.
possessive.
Yep. And the two important people in Alice's Labyrinth that you should remember is the manager and the owner. So the owner of Alice's Labyrinth, he dotes on Jay for whatever reason. There's like a subtle hint that he's known Jay from his like
Childhood.
when Jay was a child. I don't really know how that plays in, but yeah, he's super overprotective of Yoon Jae. And then
Yes.
you have the manager who's like this sweet, unsuspecting character that
Yes.
even Lee Yu Han sort of like mistakes for like just a regular server. It's not till
Yes.
later that
Is he the guy with
yeah,
the mouth? Like,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
the uwu mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's him.
Yes. But yeah, those two are also very interesting people.
Mhm.
Loki, I kind of ship the manager with the owner.
Really?
Yeah, kind of low
I
key.
don't know. There's not enough scenes with them that I would understand.
See, remember, like, look, if there are any two dudes in a show,
Mhm.
inevitably they will be shipped together,
Okay,
even
okay,
if they have no interactions. The mind needs to see something.
okay.
That is how our brains work.
All right.
But yes, the owner of Alice's Labyrinth is a very, very interesting person.
Mhm.
Because like he's just this like big old man and he's like blustering around all the time.
Mhm.
And but at the same time he looks like somebody who's like just kind of steps over people's feelings.
Yep.
But he is extremely perceptive
Mm.
and he's all over the place and you never know what the hell he's talking about half the time, but like
Mhm.
when he at like random moments he like goes literally right into Lee Yu-han's feelings and everything and are like what the hell. Like this dude is like so strangely perceptive while at the same time being batshit, and
Yeah.
it's just a very interesting character, and I'm curious to see like in what way he's related to Yoon Jae.
Mhm.
Yes. And the manager of Alice's Labyrinth is also an interesting dude. You'll see him in the webtoon having that like what we talked about earlier, like a little ooh woo
Yes.
face, and like as if like he's unimportant, but as usual, Lee Yu-han is an idiot and just
Mhm.
like it's like, oh, it's just a random dude there. He's just a butler,
Yep.
like. But he seems to find that amusing more
Mhm.
than anything, so he just keeps playing his role and doing his job. And yes,
Mhm.
so those two are also very interesting characters. Nice.
So let's jump into, I guess, ratings.
Ratings? Oh, the
Yes.
spiciness ratings?
Oh no, just like
Oh, like general overall
general
ratings?
general raw ratings.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. I guess like yeah, out of like a 10, how would you rate?
You mean like
The overall,
the overall manhwa?
yeah,
Because it's
so
still
far.
ongoing. I don't know.
I don't think we can really rate it until it's like complete.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far it is really good. I
Yeah.
think that's very vague, but like it is one of the most popular webtoons out there for a reason.
Mhm.
And like it has a very, I guess like we can kind of go into the plot really from here because what makes it really good is like how the plot is furthering along and how the quote unquote romance between the main character and the
Yeah.
male lead kind of keeps it interesting and entertaining while also like leading to a hopefully satisfying ending for both of them.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, it is very interesting. The crux of the plot, or really Lee Yu Han's issue, is that it's established pretty early on in the manhwa, so it's like or in the story. Um, so it's not really like a spoiler, but there's this whole idea that in the acting culture there, it's like you need a sponsor. It's
Yeah.
very much nepotism based, and like it's really hard to get like really star roles by your talent alone, which sucks. So you need to get your hands on like really, really top tier sponsors, people of like high profile backings and everything. And everyone keeps telling Lee Yu-han that there's this executive director Yoon
Mhm.
who you really need his backing to get like a good role.
Mhm.
Um the thing is he is introduced to executive director Yoon really early on, but he doesn't know that it's him.
Mhm.
And this dude also is amused by that and will refuse to reveal his identity.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He's just toying with him.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, and unbeknownst to both of them, they also had an interaction with each other in the past. They had a one night stand, and
Mhm.
Liu Han was wearing like a bunny costume doing it. It's not a kink.
No.
He was still going through grief and trauma
Yes,
at
he
that
was.
time, and for some reason he was wearing a bunny hat on his head at that time.
Yes.
But yes, and now executive director Yoon Jae is looking for this person whom he slept with because he never saw his face, not
And on
knowing
top
that
of that, I think the
yes,
main thing was that after that night, Lee Yuhan had the balls to just toss some money at him. Like,
yes,
yeah,
that was
thanks for the night. Like he's some like
yeah, like
street
he's some
hooker. Like
whore.
what?
Yeah, and I that scene was probably the best scene
Yeah.
in the series. Just the shocked look on on
Yes.
on Yoonjae's face was fantastic. And like there was a funny scene
Mhm.
afterward too where it was like where I think what was it? Yuhan was like coming after Jay like bro, like why do you like why are you going after this person so hard?
Yeah.
And like Jay was like, this person was so fucked up. This person like he was basically roasting the person and
Mhm.
like oh, and an interesting thing is that so Yu Han is pretty fearless.
Mhm.
He's like he's a really strong like he has a really good strength of character. I mean, his character is not the best. Like
Mhm.
as in he's not very noble.
Yeah.
but he's a very strong person. But as soon as he encountered this Yoonjae dude before he knew who he was immediately afraid.
Mhm.
And like he was very worried about him or just like he knew that this guy has this kind of aura that you can't mess with this dude.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so when he later reveals that I want to fucking kill this person whom I had a
Yeah.
one night stand with, I need to find him and kill him. Yuhan was terrified. He was like, "Damn, this person must have been a dumbass to
Yeah,
engage
they're
with
like,
this
yo, this
dude."
person's
It's
you, dude.
you.
Like what?
I think that's those two scenes just made it like I guess that people just really want them to
To
realize
just
that
like
it's each other. They're
yes.
looking for each other.
Yeah.
And then their faces when they realize will be very satisfying.
Mhm. I'd also like to point out a very funny parallel because I think in chapter 3 again, where Lee Yohan first meets Yoon Jae face to face at Dream Entertainment, he throws a through like two coin like 200 won at him for like the cigarette that he picked off the ground. And that's clearly a parallel to how he threw that money at him on that first night. I'm like, how did this man not know it was you?
I
based on
know,
that
right?
moment?
Literally the same exact
Yeah,
movement.
exactly.
Yeah, that would have been if he'd only connected the dots. And I think maybe that's why he is so attracted to Yuhan because like he has that same like fearlessness and just rudeness to him. And yeah, I have a feeling, because he is the executive director and like everyone is looking for his favor and everyone is like, whoring themselves out for this dude.
Yeah.
And here's this guy who doesn't know who he is, even though he should know who he is. Like anyone in their right mind would know who he is. And he has the nerve to just chuck like two cents worth of money at him. I think that was very probably relieving for him and very intriguing for him.
Yeah.
Hence why he keeps dragging his ass back to Alice's Labyrinth.
Exactly.
So it's and another point in the story is that like the whole Baekwan thing, the 201, like keeps following him.
Yeah,
like,
I love that's how they refer to him at the club too when he first enters the club. Like, oh,
it's Lee Baekwan.
Yeah, and he's like, you gotta be kidding me. That's not my name.
Yes, and like it's so funny to see all the servants like snickering behind him. And
Yeah.
he's like, God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's a really it's funny because like the show is both like it incorporates some very mature and toxic elements and also some very immature humor.
Yes.
It's very funny. Yes.
Yeah. It gives a nice break.
Yes. Yeah. I like how the creator like merges both at the same time because like yeah, although the topic is like it is very sad and can get very like yeah, really really out there sometimes, it still makes it human because all the characters are funny in their own ways.
Yes.
Like, even like the stereotypical like sexy top character is also a dumbass. So it was nice to see.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, what do you think of the art?
Art?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say the art is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it I can't really, since this is their first like review episode, I can't really compare it to anything.
Yeah.
But I rank it up high, up there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like forcing myself to look through it. It's like very nice eye candy,
Yes.
Yeah.
In a way, I like the art and I feel like it almost does itself a disservice because again, like everyone says that Lee Yuhan is very average looking.
Yeah,
and then they have the nerve to
not.
draw him very attractive looking. It's like, how is he not like plain? But then at the same time, if they literally drew him as just like a regular person on the street, nobody would want to read it. I mean, like, let's be real, all the Fujoshis are here to see some hot characters. So they got a balance between making him look more like conventionally ordinary and between making him look attractive enough so that readers would want to read it.
Right.
Yes. And on that note, the art obviously goes hand in hand with the spiciness.
Ah, yes.
Yes. It's hard to say because it is a slow burn. And yeah, and like really most of it so far has just been like kissing and touching. And Yuhan is still not very receptive.
No.
Which is where it can get borderline a bit triggery for some people because
that non-consent.
Yes, because Jay kind of forces himself on him almost all the times, except for that one night stand. But even then, Yuhan was like not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, he was like literally crying.
Yes,
and it wasn't because of what they were doing; it's because what he was thinking of his like mom and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see this progress because God damn it, I need them. I need them to have the smut scenes happening.
I would say the spiciness level is probably gonna get up there, but for now in the beginning, it's pretty okay.
Yeah. Yes. So far, it's really just kissing and touching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think like if the BL manhwa had like a smut scene every chapter, then it's sort of like I don't know.
That's fine by me.
Okay, it's fine by you.
That's fine by
Okay,
me.
but for my preferences, okay, for my preferences, I often find that when that happens, the plot is sort of like mid or lacking,
Okay.
which sort of
I
sucks.
see you using that mid term.
Yeah, I know you hate me using the word mid, but it's okay. We
Mid.
gotta use it.
Gotta evolve with the times, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. No, I see what you mean. There's a lot of webtoon out there. It's like definitely on like the trashier side, not in a bad way. I mean trashier as in like just the term that's used for media that has a lot of sex in it. And like, yeah, there is a lot. Um and I it is true. If it's the same type in every episode, it just gets boring. But like sometimes they vary it,
Mhm.
and that's when it's really good.
Mm.
Yes.
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's the problem with I think I found that problem in like Junjo Romantica and Sekaiichi Hatsukoi because that would happen in almost every chapter or every I guess arc, which sort of like lasted 3 to 4 chapters in a way. And there's always the repeated miscommunication, makeup,
Yes.
and then like you
Yes.
know
And
love making
resolution.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it almost always involves the top character or the semi character and like the or like we're reverting back to those terms because those semi and uki were the terms that were most commonly used during that time when the anime came out for Sekaiichi Hatsukoi and Junjo Romantica like early 2007 2012 ish yaoi. But yeah, it almost always involved like I don't know the uki sees like the semi with like some woman or
Yes,
something or
someone
like
else is
another
like,
attractive
I'm
dude.
not good enough for him, and then
Yes, and then and then there's like a whole scene where they're like yelling or running away, and then the semi has to come back and be like, "No, it's it's just a misunderstanding,"
Oh
and
no.
and yes, and then they reconcile and everything's okay.
Mhm.
And then it happens again in some other way,
Over
shape,
and
or
over
form.
again.
But yeah, but it's very nice to see that like BL as a genre has come so far since then. I mean, there's some things that still remain the same. There's like usually like a top character and a bottom character, but like again, like both of them are very headstrong characters in this show, and like neither is really giving in to the other, like how like characters would back then stereotypically. So it's very nice to kind of see those power dynamics in play and see that push the plot forward. Yeah. Okay. I think the last thing in what we plan to cover before we just go ahead and talk about really anything in the manhwa is what do we predict will happen in the future chapters or in the next season? I have a feeling, and this goes into I think we actually talked about this before, but like this goes into like spoilery territory, so just be forewarned. When they had that one night stand, like I think there was a scene where his like shirt comes off a bit and like you could see that tattoo on the back.
The tramp stamp.
Yeah, the
Yes.
tramp stamp, and I thought it was I thought it was interesting because it was a religious symbol. It was like the Om religious
Oh, it
symbol.
was?
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it
Oh.
was interesting. I'm like, maybe is it because he's looking for peace?
Mhm.
Anyway, and I'm like, why the hell is it a tramp stamp? I don't. but but anyway, I have a feel in the latest chapter that we read, they were literally so close to having sex. They were so close to like taking off his clothes, and I was like, he's going to see the tattoo and know it's him, but damn it. Like somebody came in through the door and was like, oh, this girl left her shirt here and like I can't.
Yep.
But yes. Yeah.
That's how you think the big reveal is gonna be. He's gonna see
Yes.
the tattoo and be like, "Oh
And no.
snap!" Do you
Yes.
think he's gonna be upset?
I think I want him to have that same shocked face that he had when Yuhan like flung the money at him
No.
that first time. I don't think he'll be I no, I think he will be upset though.
You think so?
I think so. Not sure. I think he'll just be like pissed at himself really. Like how the fuck didn't I realize this? And like we're all here like, yo, You should have known, bro. All the signs were there. Um, but yes,
Yeah.
I think he'll see that and connect all the dots.
Mhm.
Um,
And since this is mainly the perspective of Lee Yoo-han, you can't really tell what Jay is thinking every time he's with the main
yeah.
character. But you do see some glimpses in Lee Yoo-han's flashback where he's sort of like seeing similarities between that man he met that night compared to Jay. And he's like, they look sort of similar, but I
Yeah.
don't think they're the same. Like, bro, they're the same.
Yes.
You
He's
know?
getting very
Yeah.
close to it in the latest chapters though. Like
Mhm.
their identities are slowly kind of coming together in his
Mm.
head. Where it's like he executive director Yoon isn't here, or like he can't be executive director Yoon, right? Like there's no way. But like he's considering the possibility,
Mhm.
however crazy it is. So it's like it's slowly getting there.
Mhm.
And like I think the creator is doing like a great job of
Mhm.
slowly pushing it
Yeah.
into the character's head.
Yeah, and this makes me wish I had access to an English translation of the web novel because I'm very
Mm,
curious on how that goes.
yes.
So, I guess for I guess experience discussions wise, you have never read any web novels at all, right?
I have tried, not
Mm-hmm.
for BL though. I
Okay.
tried reading the web novel for the S classes that I raised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that it's a separate episode on its own
Mm-hmm.
because it falls into the category of web novels or webtoons that are not maybe meant to be BL but totally are
Oh,
in fan
okay,
culture.
okay.
They might as well will be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I tried reading the web novel for that, but it's just so hard for me to follow along, mainly because it was like an isekai.
Mm.
Um and like there's just lots of numbers and stats and things being
Oh
thrown around everywhere. I'm like,
no.
what the hell is going on? So I was like, I'll just wait for the webtoon.
Yeah.
But that was the only like
Mm.
web novel I read.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why I want to read the web novel is so I can like jump ahead and see what happens. Because
Yeah, like 'cause you're like, I need to
yeah,
know
I
what
need to
happened.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, but would you come back and read the manhwa after you like
Oh yeah, I would. I
okay.
would
Yes, because you need to
because
see them
yeah,
scenes come to life.
yeah, definitely. Um, it's very different if it was like manga to anime. If I read the manga, I wouldn't really feel the need to jump back into rewatching or continuing the anime series because I already know what's gonna happen. I've already seen what's gonna happen. But like from like text to images, it's two very different media. So of course, I'd want to jump in and see how the artist would interpret those scenes.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
I'm curious though. Why do you think that is? That like it's like and not just for you
Mm-hmm.
but for me too. It's like I also feel like when I finish reading like manga, I don't want to go and like watch the anime.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what happened when I was reading like Kimetsu no Yaiba
Mm-hmm.
because like or Demon Slayer people might know it as. But yeah, it's like I finished reading it but then and then they announced like the second season of the anime and I'm like I don't really want to
No.
rewatch the
Okay, but to be fair, you should watch the second season of Kimetsu no Yaiba because it's real good. The
well
quality is really nice.
I don't doubt the quality of it. Like I know the quality is really good, but like
Mm.
the things that happen in the plot, like I don't want to relive
I
that
know.
trauma.
I know. Okay, but
Um,
for me, it's not reliving the trauma that I want to avoid. I think it's just because I already know what's going to
you know
happen,
they're
and
gonna
if
all
the arc
freaking die.
isn't my favorite, I'm probably won't be interested in
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah, and that's true. And I feel like it also has to do with like pacing
Mm.
because like reading a web novel and then going back to like a manhwa, like you can read at your own pace because you're the one
Mm.
controlling it. When you're watching anime or any show or anything, you're kind of you have no choice but to like um just watch at the pace the show is going at.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise you won't be able to follow along. But with like but you can control the rate at which you scroll through a manhwa. And like whatever your reading pace is. So if you're like really if you're really fast at reading like my sister, like she'll just scroll
No.
in like 2 seconds. I'm like, can you wait a bit so I can finish reading that line? Like I feel like I'm a fast reader, but she's just like like with a straight face, just scrolling, 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 and like in 2 seconds it's done. And
She's
she's like,
just
okay, yeah,
absorbing the images. Let's go.
exactly. It's just
She's
stuck in
speed
there already.
running.
Yes. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, so I think it probably has to do with that as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm I will be sad when season 1 ends of
Oh,
this
I'd be really
webtoon.
sad once this entire series ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a joy to see, like, whenever it like comes up and like you see a new chapter is updated. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, now my day feels so much better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, even though it is quite toxic.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it could be worse. We've
It could
seen
be worse.
worse.
There's worse out there.
Yeah.
There's worse out there. And like we will definitely review some of the worst
Yeah.
worst ones.
Yeah.
And we mean worse not as in the quality of like the story or anything. Worse as in it's just even more toxic and dark.
Yeah. But I guess we're describing this relationship as toxic because we wouldn't want this to happen in real life.
Yes, yeah. If it's like it's very nice. It's like you always crave to see the scenes between Yoonjae and Yuhan Lee Yuhan.
Yeah.
But like in almost all the scenes where they interact, like Yuhan clearly has no interest in this dude,
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks he's a freak,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude just keeps pushing himself on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it can get a bit like, um, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is still hot, and that's it's it is still hot. Yes, we don't approve of these actions in real life, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is BL, and BL is not meant to replicate real life.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the main reason why we both probably feel excited whenever both of them are on the screen is because their chemistry is just so good.
Yes.
Yeah. Like even if the sexual aspect was taken out of the story, I would still want to read it.
It's that homoerotic subtext.
Yeah, that
tension.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's just how good I feel like the writing is,
Yeah.
the interpretation of the drawings are, and I guess the character dynamics are as well.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like the best way to describe those two characters is like, what's that one meme I read? It's like unstoppable force versus immovable object.
Oh, no. No.
That's the way they both are, because they're both very headstrong. And like Yuhan is like, because he had such a tough background and everything, like he's not he, even though he's genuinely wary of Yoonjae, he's like I mean, he's dealt with a lot in his life, so he's not afraid to like stand up for himself. He's straight up threatened like the manager, the boss, and shit. Like he knows what he's going for, and he will do what he needs to do to get it.
Yeah.
And like Yoonjae, like he's like, I don't know, he's basically he's the executive director. Everyone wants him.
Yeah.
And
There's not a lot revealed about Yoonjae yet, so we don't really know what type of trauma he's hiding.
Exactly, which he definitely is hiding some kind of trauma, because in all the BL webtoons they do.
Yes, very much.
Yes.
It's the I can fix him type of thing.
Exactly. Except I don't think these characters are gonna even try fixing
No, they're
each
probably
other.
like, yeah, you go screw yourself. It's whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Yuhan is very whatchamacallit. Yeah. He's very headstrong, and Yoonjae is also very self-assured. And so like he's like also confident, or like in his own self, and he's just like, he's such an ass. Whenever Yuhan comes to him, he's like, I know you want me. I'm gonna make you want me.
No.
And Yuhan is like, you crazy son of a bitch. You're insane. But yeah, because of that, it's very interesting to see the push and pull between them and see that drive the plot forward. Yep. Well, that basically covers our review for Payback by the creators SamK and FujoKing. Thank you guys for listening to this, for creating an amazing webtoon, and we're really looking forward to like seeing the next episodes and the next season. And make sure to take care of yourselves, because I know drawing and stuff can take a big toll on your hands and your health. And yeah, and thank you to everyone who listened to us today, to the second episode. And I don't know what we're going to cover the third episode.
We're going to cover the Omegaverse.
Yes!
Wow,
yes. So definitely be hyped for that one, because that's going to be fun. Because that is just a very
A
like
whole other
you
can
literally
of
cannot.
worms.
Yes, you cannot go through BL without knowing what the Omega verse is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. We were the Rotten Apples,
Yes.
and we will
Thank you
see
for
you another
listening.
day.
Bye.
Bye.